also, as a person, I'm extremely gratified by the attendance today. And I hope I've got to see everybody. And as you could see me, I ate last, didn't do anything, and finally got to drink wine, which is like my favorite thing. And so I finally I stayed sober right for the most thing because I wanted to keep myself, kind of available and stuff. Now I'm more relaxed now, a little bit more easy. So actually, I'm talking, aren't I? And one of the things that's interesting is that Matt was funny about everything, but we went to see Adele, which was amazing, concert by the way. And he wanted to sell his ticket all the time. I said, no, you're not. I said, no, we're going. She said she's at her peak, like he was at his peak. So I said that was a simple thing. That if you see someone that's doing brilliantly, you're brilliant. And I saw that as a reflection. I insisted, and he spent hours making sure he get the tier. We went to her 7th performance, and it was really quite amazing. And she's a bit like me, and she's like talks to the audience and gets all kind of talking like this and saying, everybody, hi everybody, make sure you know what's going on. So she was very sweet girl. And I remember it was really fun. It was such a queen, such a girl. And she's coming along, walking with the audience. And I'm going, and she gives me this really odd stare, and I said, "Oh!" And because she could see I was a big old queen, I was a totally devoted fan and all that stuff. And she shared later about she has devotees and people don't really want to go talk to her; they find her too scary. Anyway, so Matt did extremely really well with that. The most fascinating thing was when he saw Katy Perry, which was his last performance, and she saw from what Leslie was saying, he was quite sick, and Terry and I. We're really working hard to say, no, you're not going. And he's the doctor, I'm the nurse, right? So because we didn't want him to have any problems outside of his family, and be away and stuff. And I'm just going to close on that one. So he finally pulled it together, and I did all my best with United with my status, and got us to lie down flat seats, which was Matt's big thing. And we got it all the way there and back and everything. But I just remember what was really sweet, the whole trip was everybody, except for maybe the airfares, I think a few things was totally complimented. The Caesar's Palace, even the Katy Perry tickets, which we will move forward. So we were in the second row, so we could see everything. It was brilliant. And guess who showed up? Prince Harry. And like Celine Dion, and somebody else showed up. It was her last show. It was on November 4th, and it was all around my birthday as well. So that was kind of fun. And so, but this tragedy for me was, as you probably can see from the photographs, I've kind of removed the ones of the last week, and mainly because it was really, and for my own personal reasons, it was such a shock to see him age so dramatically. So I try to keep that full, vibrant face that you could all remember. Except I know what Patrick, when he was telling his story, that was important too, and that was a very family thing that we did together, because we had vigils with his parents as well, and I had my mother and a few other close friends. So, but from the bottom line, I wanted to say, thank you all for coming today, everybody. And it looked like, and it was all governed by my lovely niece, Miss Mimi, because Mimi she's doing a very, very difficult course, and she's trying to get her career together. But it gave me the space when I was planning. Then she said, "Oh, I can be here this week." I said, "Okay, let's make it happen." So I quickly got it together. So Mimi was the guiding point to get this done. So I'm very grateful. And they were very close. She really loved her. She really loved her uncle. And you see pictures of her in bed with him, and she got me in bed with him. And he was like, "I was crazy. We're all in bed with him. And let's take pictures and blah blah blah." So, but I must also I must acknowledge too, which I haven't done yet, is the Yee family. And they're mostly on that table there. They've accepted me into the family, and I think I was pretty okay, but Matt was pretty out there too. But I was the one that kind of geared him to trying to say, well, let's get the family to really love us and care for us. And I think if they do that, they'll get so much out of me. And because I love family. Matt sometimes wants, we'll just do our own thing. I said, no, we need that. And it's very telling, because when Terry and I had to kind of make decisions to help Matt to decide what to do with himself, and that was hard. I think it was on the Sunday the week before he died, we had to make some really concrete decisions about his death. And that was what part was, because Matt was deciding, do I live or I pass or I go? And he did, and the funny thing is, he looked at us. I remember he looked at both Terry and I. We weighed it up and everything, and then suddenly Matt was able to say, "Oh, I think I can let go." And I think that helped us all get our more reality together. But I think in the end, as I said, I'm not sure if you really know that his remains are on the table. He's cremated. I bought them, and I only did that this morning. It was like so last minute. I said, I must bring him along. And so when I did that, suddenly, and we had some little glitches this morning. And I'm a planner. I'm a charge nurse, as you probably know about Miss Lisa. And she's my total guide. She's like she's my entrepreneur. She's one that kind of took care of me for like 15 years to make sure I become a very good charge nurse. And she's a very compassionate lady, so thank you, Lisa. I met her, she's one of my great ladies. And I'm okay. Anyway, so at the very last minute, I thought I would bring Matt and then set up. And as we were setting up, I lost a team member because she wasn't feeling well, so I had to rearrange my kind of experience to how to pull it together. But what I was good about is that I always give myself plenty of time. And so apparently I gave myself the right time, as it turned out. It worked out really well. Everybody I queued to come this morning. And I really love the fact that everybody came up to the front. Everybody started to socialize and meet each other. And once again, thanks for the courage to share too. I think that took a little while, and I'm glad people got confidence to do that. And I think it has a lot to do with our entertainers today too, which was June, of course, and Candy as well. I never heard love enough. Brilliant, great. And of course, Bruce for lunch. Brucey over there? Right. And the mood was really shifting around where everybody could be joyful, they could cry, and all that kind of stuff, which is really good. So I want to thank everybody for coming today. I think we're about to kind of close up pretty soon. You all had desserts and wine, and also I do miss him terribly. He's moved on and he's still around somewhere, but I really miss him a lot. And once again, that his shining light will always be here for everybody else who've been inspired by his work and by his love. And he was insecure, and I saw that insecurity. I really did. And it was what was the challenging thing was he always had courage to keep going. And even in COVID, it was like, imagine you're doing your show in your living room, and there's me in the background trying to show people how to dance. It's like, and things we used to do in the show at the public radio way back in the 90s. So anyway, I think I better close. I'm doing an Adele. I'm just chatting away. And also, I haven't thanked everybody. I think I missed anybody. Also, too, is my darling sister, too, Marie. Who I think, have everybody met Marie yet? I hope everybody's met her. Yeah. She's actually, I can't believe she had the courage to share. That was amazing. I thought, oh my gosh, she's sort of that's good. Oh, thank you, Scott. So anyway, on that note, I'll say once again, thank you. We'll all miss him. I know we will. He's touched our lives in so many ways. And as we move on, there'll be a moving on process, which after 6 months, there's been a moving for me, which is great. And I'm ready now, so it's cool. Moved on. Here we go.
I just realized why Paul and I are so connected. I had a Chinese husband for 20 years. And so I know what this guy's been going through. I just had to leave us on a little bit of humor. And while I mentioned earlier that there was an impromptu guest whose name I didn't know how to pronounce properly, Brucey, may I ask you to come forward so we can do the closing hurrah one more time? Okay. I would be very grateful. Come, Paul. That hurrah at the beginning over here was so great that I'd like to do it in closing.
It's all yours, Brucey.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So you know the drill.
You know the drill?
Let me hear you say oi!
Oi!
Oi! Oi! Oi! Oi! Oi! Oi! We're done! Yay!
Thank you everyone for coming. Please be